So I talked about this a little bit in the Discord, but I'm going to be making some changes to how I do YouTube and Twitch, and I want to. Well, I have an idea for an experiment. Like, if it doesn't work, like, obviously I'm not gonna like commit to it, but we are going to be trying an experiment with the YouTube and Twitch channels, and we're gonna hope it goes good. And if it doesn't, we're gonna blame YouTube, okay? Back in August 1st, I deliberately did it for August 1st. We did the rebrand of the YouTube channel and the Twitch channel. So we changed our name from Really Freaking Clever to Jishua. And the point of doing that was that I was getting... I was creatively unsatisfied with the shows that I felt that I had to do on YouTube and the branding that I'd built for myself, and that it was expected that I would either do an episode of Really Freaking Clever or 64 Things Wrong, and like that was it. Anything else was like a weird experiment type thing, and that I was beginning to feel really kind of pigeonholed, and I felt that wasn't the best for me creatively. So I was like, you know what, we're gonna rebrand the channel to be focused more on, this is my channel, Joshua. I'm going to make what I want to make, but the channel is based around me as a person. It's not like just a brand that I came up with. And so that was pretty good. I'm pretty happy. And people seem to really enjoy the videos that I put out in August, and like the videos in that style that I experimented with a little bit before we did the actual rebrand. So I was really happy with that rebrand. There was some issues with how I like initially launched it that like in retrospect, like hindsight's 2020, I would have done better. I would have made it more clear that those like skit videos I did at the very start weren't like the entire new direction of the channel. It was more so just to be like, look, I'm gonna do some crazy shit every now and then. Was kind of the plan. So there is some things that, like, in retrospect, I could have done better, but overall, I'm very happy with that rebrand. The problem is that immediately after doing that rebrand, everything that could possibly become hectic in my life, like, became hectic. There was a potential job opportunity at a major game studio in Toronto that I was approached about and was in talks for. From literally August, like all the way till the end of October. And so that was like 2 months of like a pretty grueling process that in the end didn't even really lead to anything. Which is fine. Like that's how these things go. But on top, like there was that big opportunity came up that I had to put a lot of energy into. There was a lot of stuff with streaming that was a little bit hectic, and then there was a bunch of personal stuff like going on as well. It was the craziest couple of months that you really did not want to have happen right after you did a big rebrand of your YouTube channel and need to like prove that like you have your shit together. So it was really bad timing. And wound up being that, like, I had that month of kind of a relaunch thing, and then uploads have been really sporadic since then, is kind of, like, what happened with that whole situation. And so now that like, now that I'm not, like, actively pursuing that games industry job that I was in the running for a bit, I've been focusing on like, okay, how do now I properly do this like YouTube relaunch and stuff like that. And the main thing that kept kind of impeding me, even when I did have days where like I could focus on like my own work and stuff like that, it was like I would put in a full day of streaming. And after the full day of streaming, like it's one of the best jobs in the world, but like it can be a tiring job and stuff like that. And so whenever you've done like a full day of talking to people about video games and giving your take on like what's going on in games and like whatever's currently happening in the game you're playing, after you do a day of that, like the last thing you kind of want to do is set up your computer again in different settings in your recording program and then do a dedicated video talking again about like whatever I probably talked about in that day's stream to like give my take on like, this is why the direction of Breath of the Wild 2 is good or bad, or like stuff like that. It was a weird thing where like both streaming and YouTube were like competing with each other, and that was like specifically what I wanted to avoid if I was going to be trying to do both streaming and YouTube at the same time. And so eventually I kind of came to the realization that I could combine both of like the two kind of job avenues that I'm working on at the moment. I could do like both of these things at the same time without really like, without having like a negative effect on the quality of like what I'm actually doing. Because like the videos that people seem to be really liking about the Jishua relaunch was like me giving like my take on like why Mario Party or why Super Mario Party like wasn't as big a success, or like why Nintendo hasn't supported it and stuff like that. And it's like I've talked to, like, the way that video came about was I talked about it on stream, and then I re-recorded myself like talking about it a second time, like after that stream where we talked about it was done. So what I think, getting to the actual point here, what I think we are going to experiment with while we are streaming is if I get asked something where it's like, Josh, what's your take on Pokemon Sword and Shield or something like that? I can be like I could be in the middle of my game and I'm like, wow, I'm just playing along at Zelda, and someone's like, Josh, what's your take on this big in-depth gaming controversy? I could say, well, let me tell you my take on the big in-depth gaming controversy. Go right to this, have a discussion with you guys, and talk about that, and like give my take on something like initially, like word out my thought process, like kind of what I'm doing right now, just improving and all that. Give you guys my take, respond to stuff that's in the chat, and like read that aloud and like explore the topic fully, and then we go back to the gameplay and stuff like that. But then once the stream is done, like at the end of tonight, I can go back into the local recording. I now have all this footage of me talking about like Pokemon Sword and Shield or whatever it is we're going to talk about, and then I can edit that into a video to go up on the channel the next day. Basically, I'm going to be making I'm going to attempt to make my videos while I'm streaming now. Not like the editing and stuff like that, but, and this is something that a lot of Let's Players are doing like anyways, is that people like, they stream themselves doing gameplay, then they edit like together the good bits and put that out on the channel. And so like, I'm not gonna do like I don't think I'm gonna be doing like full compilations of the stream, but I do want to like take kind of like my rant style content that I've like been doing on stream anyways, and be able to put that up on the YouTube channel. And because I'm able to like record like chat and like all this separately, like I can basically like, there's not going to be any loss of quality on the YouTube end of things, because I can still do my video editing and like zoom it in on my face, and I'm not going to have to cut around the chat or like anything like that, because it's all like stored separately. So who knows if this is going to work out? This is basically something I've just been thinking about the past few days. It's something I want to try out. But basically the ideal would be that we do like our normal streaming and stuff, but at the start of a stream or in the middle of the stream, if I'm going to give like kind of a little, my take on like whatever's going on that day in the games industry, and then the next day that take will also be up on YouTube alongside like any other like really funny things that happened in that stream. So if this goes like the way that we hope it will, knocking on all the wood, like we might be up to like almost daily YouTube videos. I'm not gonna like push specifically for that, but like if I'm able to just like take stream content and now like turn it into YouTube content, holy shit, our days of the upload schedule jokes might be over, y'all. Knock on wood. I've thought that before, but we're gonna hope that's actually the case this time. So basically, my plan is I'm trying to combine my YouTube and Twitch workflows. We're going to see how it goes. I'm sure it's going to be a learning process, but I hope you guys I hope you guys are chill with it. Is that more or less work than making a video you put together piecewise? Well, I mean, I won't know until I actually like edit it together, but I feel like overall it'll be less work because I'm doing the actual recording. Like while I'm talking to you guys, I already like have all my stuff set up, and I don't need to like fiddle with too much stuff. So yeah, instead of having to set aside a specific time when I'm not streaming to also like have to be energetic and give my thoughts on topics that I probably already talked about in that day's stream. Like I just get to do it all at the same time now. And as like, I'm not going to upload anything that I don't think is entertaining or good or anything, but I want to give this a shot to see if I can combine workflows. Doesn't RT Game or whatever he's called do the film your YouTube during stream thing? I'm not sure. Is there other YouTubers you guys know that specifically do that? Because I know it's becoming a more common thing, because like people that mainly do streaming will do that. Like they'll like upload the highlights of their stream, or like if there was like for example, like I watch like a political debate streamer that like does video games but also like talks politics a lot, and so he'll upload like the individual debates to his YouTube channel, and that's like how he has his YouTube content. So I think like Twitch streamers like making videos out of stuff that happened on their stream is a growing thing. And I also think like people that mainly do YouTube are starting to do that as well, because you get the benefits of like streaming to a live audience, like getting the benefits of that like community. But then you also get to make like videos out of what you did. So it's like, wow, I can turn like 1 hour of work into 2 hours of work. Like that's great. Josh the Hedgehog returns when? I mean, technically, like he's gonna be in whatever this stream turns up, like whatever kind of video this stream winds up turning into. Like Josh the Hedgehog is gonna be there. I am excited for the comment section because I'm wearing this. Josh the Hedgehog will return in Avengers Endgame.